40s on the North Shore, 50s in the metro area. A high around 73 degrees Wednesday with increasing clouds and...
Hello, anyone home?
Hey, I'm home. How does it sound?
Much in the way of rainfall as another cold front moves through for the end of the week.
You hear me? Test.
Okay, we got you.
Gotcha. Okay, sounds good.
A re-examined autopsy ordered by the FBI in the deadly 2019 arrest of Ronald Green has rejected Louisiana State Police claims that it was a car crash that caused Green's fatal injuries. The unusual second look at what killed Green was commissioned in light of the long-buried body camera footage of troopers beating, stunning, and dragging the black motorist and other evidence state police withheld from the original autopsy. The new review attributes Green's death to a series of factors, including troopers striking him, restraining him, and Green's cocaine use. New Orleans Mayor LaToya Cantrell is at the 2021 UN Climate Change Conference in Scotland.
Cantrell says climate change is proving devastating for cities like New Orleans, which she held up as a poster child.
Historically high amounts of rain in shorter amounts of time, and I mean they're strong. That creates drainage challenges for cities like mine in New Orleans with ailing infrastructure that really cannot withstand the challenges on the ground today.
She reiterated support for climate change initiatives.
The city of New Orleans is all in, right there with the United States of America.
Dave Cohen, WWL First News.
Mayor Cantrell sports a high approval rating heading into a re-election effort, according to UNO pollster Ed Chervenak. She is at 57% approval among likely voters, which Chervenak says really isn't too surprising.
She's, pretty much where, say, someone like Mitch Landrieu was, who was relatively popular. New Orleanians tend to really love their mayor. This is why they are, reelected. No mayor has been denied a second term in modern New Orleans history.
Elsewhere, the poll found a highly competitive race
in
in New Orleans City Council at large, Division 2, with J.P. Morrell up 8 points on Kristen Palmer, but with 40% of voters undecided. 5 to 11-year-old kids will be able to get shots in arms of the COVID vaccine.
Dr. Mark Klein with Children's told WWL's Tommy Tucker that over 4,000 kids were involved in the study that led to the shot getting the thumbs up from the FDA.
That study showed that it has a remarkable safety profile. There were some mild, what I call almost nuisance side effects, the same that we see in adults after they get the vaccine. Shoulder soreness, headache, a little bit of malaise, maybe low-grade fever for 24 hours.
Matt Doyle, WWL First News.
For the vaccine.
Now, your Garcia Roofing forecast on WWL.
Temperatures will be quickly dropping into the 60s and later tonight 50s. Overnight 40s and 50s as we start the day on Wednesday. Mostly sunny skies early Wednesday, but increasing clouds through the day. Overcast on Thursday with a few stray showers as a stronger cold front pushes on through. Winds picking up, and with a cloudy day, windy, may feel a little more winter-like than fall by Thursday, with high temperatures perhaps in some spots struggling into the low 60s for an afternoon high. From your local weather expert forecast center, I'm WWL-TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Franklin.
I'm Chris Miller, WWL First News.
From the station you turn to when it counts, WWL, AMFM.com, and the Odyssey app, Louisiana's official emergency management station. This is Ida Recovery Connection with attorney Doug Sinceri. Connect now on the Oakland Hart Jewelers Talk and Text line, 504-260-1870. Now, beaming back to our Jefferson Financial Federal Credit Union studio, here's Doug.
Hey, good evening. Doug Sinceri. Michelle Demmer Sinceri on Ida Recovery Connection. We're on tonight from 8 to 10 to answer your Hurricane Ida insurance questions, which abound and abound and abound.
They continue and continue.
They continue. So thank you for walking across the hallway.
I'm always happy to do it.
And you're not watching the World Series, I hear that.
I'm not watching the World Series. I was watching the Virginia election.
Albert gets mad at me. Like if there's something going on during our show, like the British Open, sometimes it's on when we're on in the morning. And I'll say, so-and-so's leading. And he's like, don't say that. They're going to run to the TV and not listen to us.
Oh, yeah.
But that's not going to happen.
There's enough to go around.
The World Series will still be played when we're finished by 10 o'clock.
What's the score now?
0-0. Third innings.
No, what's the score between?
Oh, 3-2 the Braves.
Oh, okay.
The chop.
The chop.
That's but they're playing in Houston. They're playing in Houston today. Are they? Or are they back in Atlanta?
I don't
They're
know.
Playing in Houston.
I'm totally out of touch with all that.
Well, we got to work. We got to pull for Alex Bregman, LSU.
Okay.
So, but I like both the Red Sox and the Astros. Do you see? You don't remember this.
You haven't even asked me. How do you know?
I know you don't. I already know the answer to it. Okay, in the 1970s,
well, yeah, I don't remember.
You don't remember. 1970s, they had ABC, NBC, CBS, and they had Channel 26, which was independent.
Okay.
And the Houston Astros used to come on every night on the independent channel. So I watched them. And I'd go back and forth for Houston just for family vacations. And I commuted there for a while when I was right out of law school.
Yeah, I knew that.
Back and forth. So
you feel like you have a connection to Houston?
I do. Back when they played, they were like as good as the Saints in the 70s.
Gotcha.
They would never, they'd be third or fourth in their division. They would just, you loved them, but they never won. But they had old players like Roger Metzger, Tommy Helms, Lee May, J.R. Richards.
So that's why you're pulling for them.
Yeah, I sort of have a little connection with them.
All right. That sounds good.
But we're here not to talk about the Astros. We're here to talk about Hurricane Ida. I do want to say this about the Saints. The Saints win against Tampa.
That has nothing to do with the Astros.
No, I do want to say this. I do. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. I have to, if we talk 2 hours of Hurricane Ida.
Your head will explode?
Yeah. After 8 hours of dealing with it all day. But I will say this. The win the Saints had last Sunday is one of the greatest wins in the history of the Saints. And I'll tell you why.
Why? You
had a third-string quarterback who didn't take any reps all week, wasn't expected to play, who was an afterthought. First of all, Jeff Ireland and Sean Payton, get this guy as the third-string quarterback, is brilliant. Second of all, to put in a game plan to put him in a position to win, your third-string quarterback to beat greatest football player in the history of mankind and the Super Bowl champs, and do it the way they did, has to be one of the greatest wins in history of the Saints. And it also, in my mind, solidifies the fact that Sean Payton is one of the top 3 coaches in the NFL and will be in the Hall of Fame one day. We're very fortunate that we've had a quarterback and a coach to do that. I mean, the Saints had a long stretch where we had nobody in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
Wasn't even consideration. Ricky, then you had Ricky Jackson and started happening, but it's just amazing.
How was the city? Because I wasn't there Monday.
Yeah, pumped up.
It pumped up.
It pumped up. It was Superdome. It said it was like the old Superdome.
Huh.
So, but that was, so I just wanted to, not that anybody cares what I think about that, but it was an interesting.
It's a nice observation.
Yes. The only other time I remember third-string quarterback winning a game for the Saints is Larry Sippa in 1973 when they beat the Buffalo Bills the year that O.J. Simpson, you know who O.J. Simpson is.
I do know who O.J. Simpson is. He was the guy in the car.
He's the guy in the car. We tried to call him.
I know.
You know the story. I'll tell you the story before. And O.J. Simpson ran for 2,000 yards that year, and he ran for 73 yards, I believe, against the Saints. That was probably his lowest output all year, maybe one of the lowest outputs. But I think Larry Sippa was a third-string quarterback. I think he was from Michigan. Never played.
How do you know all this?
Head full of useless knowledge. That's why I share it with Hurricane Ida insurance information.
And me.
And you.
I appreciate it.
But this is the Ida recovery connection, not the sports trivia connection.
That's right.
So I'll get to it. In fact, Huh?
We have a caller.
We have a caller who wants to call in about.
And he's probably not wanting to talk about football.
No, he's not. So, all right. We got Thomas on the line. Hey, Thomas, you on the Ida recovery connection. What you having, brother?
Good morning.
Oh, yes. Good morning. You usually call us in the morning. How you doing, my man? How you doing, brother?
Pretty good. Well, this is my situation. I had a guy that's done some work on my neighbor's roof.
Mm-hmm.
It's a one-story house, but my house is 2 stories. So anyway, I asked him to come look at the job. He came, and I asked him for some insurance and license, and he said he scribbled something on a piece of paper, saying this is my license. And then I told him, I said, well, what about the insurance? He said, well, I'll get back to you. And I said, well, how much do you want down if I give you the job? He said, well, customary, if I bring some material to your house, you give me 50% when I get there with the material, and I'll leave it in your yard. So my question is, how does that sound to you?
Well, I think it's concerned not having a license. You can actually look them up on the Louisiana Contracting Board for licensed contractors. So Louisiana Contracting Board for licensed contractors. You can look his name up in the little search for contractors. So you could ask his name or the name of his company, put it in the search block, and it should come up. If you not computer savvy, you can actually call the Contractors Board, and you want to try to look that up real quick.
Sure.
And then as far as to see if he's licensed, because if he's not licensed, he's not regulated, and there's really no enforcement mechanism, I guess, supervising his work. I mean, he could just do bad work and leave. The second part is every contractor should have in their truck several copies of their certificate of insurance. And a certificate of insurance would have the name of their insurance company, it would have the name of the insurance agency, and it would have the dates of coverage. So,
And the license.
well, yeah, I mean, if he doesn't have the license, it could be looked up. But most of them also can carry their license or a copy of the license from the board. So that sounds suspect to me. Unfortunately, since there's a shortage of roofers and people, want to get their roof fixed or a house fixed, they're more apt to do business with anybody who will do business with them. And I understand that, but it's a risk. Plus, if they do not have insurance and they get hurt on your property, you could ultimately be responsible for their injuries. So that's another reason to have insurance, especially with roofers, because roofers are the most dangerously, they're highest rated, I guess, trade.
Injury.
Yeah, for injuries. I think sometimes up to maybe 30 cents per dollar goes to the workers' comp carrier for roofers because it's very dangerous. Obviously, you elevate it, and it's susceptible to injuries. And if the contractor or the roofer does not have insurance, then the homeowner would be liable. And on top of that, your homeowner's insurance would not cover it if he was hurt. So you'd have no insurance coverage. You'd be uninsured, and you'd be liable for any damages. And also, yes.
I was going to give him the information.
Yeah.
So it's called the Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors. The website, if you have a pen, is lslbc.louisiana.gov.
Okay. And also, Mrs. Thank you.
Sure.
Also, Mrs. Sinceri, how much is customary to put out on a job? Like
Well,
she wants to want half down.
That I find that's been customary, but I would not pay him until the delivery of the materials are in your yard. In other words, tell him I will when the materials are delivered, I'll pay you. Don't pay him on the promise that he'll deliver the materials on your yard. I think I think that's pretty customary now, but don't pay him until the shingles are delivered.
But first, make sure he has insurance.
Yeah, make sure he has insurance and license.
Licensed.
But would half down be?
Yeah, it's they're yes, they are doing that now. I would try to negotiate a little less, maybe 30%, maybe a third.
Because I think.
Yeah, I mean it's a lot. But the fact is, due to the supply and demand issue, the roofers have somewhat of a advantage. But see if you can negotiate. I mean, I would try to negotiate a third upon delivery.
Okay. That sounds reasonable, and I thank you very much for the information.
All right, Donald, you have a
great
blessed
evening.
night. All right, thanks a lot. Let's go to a break. Doug Sinceri, Michelle Demers Sinceri, the Ida Recovery Connection. We're on till 10. We'll be right back after this brief timeout.
Hey, who dat? Don't you want to be there when the Saints battle Atlanta? Or party like it's hot before the game?
Okay, I got another caller from, his name is Mark from Mandeville, wants to say hello.
Benson Tower, or both. Go to WWL.com now to score tickets to the Saints VIP tailgate party, or the grand prize premium seats to the Saints Atlanta game, plus tickets to the best tailgate party in town. Who dat say they gonna beat them Saints? BullseyeEventGroup.com and WWL.
Draftkings Sportsbook is coming soon to Louisiana. It won't be long until you
ZipRecruiter is the last spot.
ZipRecruiter.
Set.
All right.
own home. To celebrate, DraftKings Sportsbook is giving customers $100 in free bets when you sign up before they go live. No deposit required. DraftKings is bringing their experience as a leader in daily fantasy sports to the sports betting world and have created one of America's top-rated sportsbook app, DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code BIG870 when you sign up. Those who sign up right now will get $100 in free bets to use once mobile sports betting hits Louisiana. That's code BIG870 to get $100 in free bets instantly. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-770-STOP. 7867. 21 and over. Louisiana only. Availability varies by parish. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for full terms and conditions.
Men, no matter what size she wears, there always comes a day when she says,
"It would definitely be okay if these diamond stud earrings were a little bit bigger."
Thousands of women own a pair of Ramsey's diamond studs.
When your diamond stud earrings come from Ramsey's,
you always get 100% of the current value
when you trade up for a larger pair.
Find her Ramsey's diamond studs and bring them to us.
You'll pay only the difference when you trade up for bigger ones.
If she doesn't have a pair of Ramsey stud earrings,
you need to fix that.
We have them for as little as $299.
And Ramsey's diamond stud earrings are cut to glitter in the dark.
We're going to package her new diamonds in a fabulous presentation box
and gift wrap it so gorgeously that everyone will take photos
before she even opens it.
And after she opens it,
you the man.
The largest diamond store in Louisiana is Ramsey's Diamond Jewelers on Veterans between Bonneville and West End in Metairie.
I'm attorney Mike Brandner. There's nothing easy about a car wreck. You're hurt, your car's wrecked, you're in pain, you're missing work, doctor bills are piling up. You have too many things to worry about. After you've been hurt in a wreck, you need an attorney with a reputation for getting results. You focus on getting better, and we'll focus on getting you paid for it. Call 345-1111. The call and the advice are free.
Heard him correct. Mike Brandner's the one. Call 345-1111.
ZipRecruiter,
Offices in Metairie and Hammond.
ZipRecruiter's last one.
Louisiana Secretary of State Kyle Ardoin.
Early voting for the November election begins October 30th. Ending
Early
November
voting.
6th. If you live in an
You
area
Democrats.
affected by Hurricane
Dead
Ida,
voting
visit
starts at that time too.
CEAvote.com or call 800-883-2805 for information on absentee ballots, polling place changes, and election dates and deadlines. I'm Secretary of State Kyle Ardoin, reminding you to go vote.
Reminding the dead. Democrats.
According to research, 82% of people remember radio ads. That means that 82% of you listening right now will remember that this is an ad for ZipRecruiter. If you're hiring, 82% of you will recall that ZipRecruiter makes hiring faster and easier. And 82% of you will know that you can try ZipRecruiter for free today. But you have to go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Yes, free. 82% of you will keep in mind that ZipRecruiter's technology finds qualified people for
Who
your
do we have
job
on the line,
and
Doug?
invites them to apply.
Big pardon?
Who do we have on the line, Doug?
Mark.
Mark, that's right. Mark from Mandeville.
I live with my mom. But the most important thing to note is that ZipRecruiter works. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Will you be part of the 82% who remember where you can try ZipRecruiter for free? It's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Again, that exclusive link is ZipRecruiter.com/free. How much? Free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
It's continuing coverage of the Ida recovery on WWL AMFM.com and the Odyssey app. Reach attorney Doug Sinceri now on the Oakland Heart Jewelers Talk and Text line, 504-260-1870.
Hey, we're back. Doug Sinceri, Michelle Demers Sinceri on Ida Recovery Connection. We'll be on Tuesday nights. We're not doing Wednesdays anymore. Tuesday nights until they tell us not to do it anymore. So I'll get tired of talking about it.
Questions are answered.
Yeah, until everybody's questions are answered. So we won't be on. Now, for all things legal, we will not be on for the next 3 weekends because the Saints play the Falcons and 2 more noon games. So we will not be on there. Also, Tiger fans. We are Tiger fans. LSU battles Nick Saban and Alabama Crimson Tide in Tuscaloosa. We've gone 2 the last 3 years to Tuscaloosa.
We have.
We're not going this time.
Oh, no.
No, we're not going. We're not going.
No.
But game day starts at 1 o'clock with joining Christian Garrick and one of LSU's all-time leading quarterbacks, Herb Tyler, for the Gulf Coast Bank and Trust Tiger Tailgate Show. We bank at Gulf Coast.
We do.
I think a little plug there. At 4 p.m. it's the voice of the Tigers, Chris Blair, the LSU's official pregame show. Kickoffs at 6. And I will make a prediction that's going to be 100% true.
Okay.
Miles Brennan will not throw a touchdown pass for LSU.
He's not playing.
So, well, he's transferring out. So he's in the transfer portal. So that's my prediction. If you can get that bet on, Draftkings, bet it. You're going to win. All right, let's go to phone lines. Let's go to Mark, who's from God's country in Mandeville, where there's protect crime, no crime, and drainage. Hey, Mark, what do you have for us, brother?
Hey, Doug, how you doing, buddy?
We're doing fantastic.
Wanted to thank you for your noble work and educating our listeners on with a Hurricane Ida or the catastrophe that seems to hit some part of Louisiana each and every year, seemingly. But I think it's very noble and it's very gracious, and you're giving them a good lesson on what to do and what not to do. Concerning. Because there's a lot of, like you were kind of hitting on it, but the roofing company and how you get paid. And, fortunately for me, I have to get a new roof and a new fence and stuff. I lost a few trees out here in God's country, but I already have the money in my bank now. It's just picking a roofing company. And they, of course, obviously, not all insurance companies will do that, as far as delivery of the product. And I do encourage your listeners to try to use someone that's local and maybe not so much someone that's from out of town. You know what I mean? So, but I just wanted to give you a big shout out because you and I are friends on Facebook, and I post a lot of truths. And I use Mark Flatlander. My last name's Hollander, but
gotcha. Yeah, Mark.
Hello,
man.
Buddy,
well, thank you much. I appreciate it. And you make the point. I've been doing this for 33 years, and insurance work, and I still learn things I didn't know every day. And it, and this forum is good because as we discussed a lot of these problems, a lot of the homeowners and policy holders can go back and respond to some of the things that are happening in a way where that knowledge will assist them in getting the full payment out of their policy, because it's very important that we rebuild for the economy and for a lot of purposes. And that's why we have insurance. And a lot of times the insurance company is not going to, I don't want to say be your friend, but they're not going to quantify your damages. They're not going to tell you what you have to do in order to maximize your claim. So, I mean, this does provide a good forum for having these discussions, because I learn a lot from the callers. And I learn a lot from a lot of situations, and they really sort of tax my brain as to, how do we deal with this? And often I'll have pillow talk with Michelle at night about how do you deal with this insurance issue. That's very exciting, huh? I feel
like I'm pretty well versed on it as well, because my nephew, Michael Hollander, and of course, Robert Bruno and Bruno.
Yes.
My family's best friends, so we kind of grew up in the same type of work that you're in, you know what I mean? Of course, my nephew played baseball at LSU. He was the second baseman, Michael Hollander.
Oh, yes.
I'm very proud of Michael. And of course, he's an attorney now. I guess he works with the Brunos,
Sure.
Bruno. But anyway, hey, when you get a chance, go to Ferret Radio on YouTube and, join our station. So we have our own station. And, I have a highly regard for you, a lot of respect for you.
Well, thank you,
Mark. And you're a true New Orleanian. Actually, you're in God's country, but we do consider ourselves New Orleanians.
Well, I'm sorry. I still have a foot in Metairie. Metairie.
I got you.
You know, and Metairie, and you know, and I'll never lose my Bucktown roots. You know, those my.
Yep, absolutely. But listen, God bless you, man. And
all right, my man.
Great talk. Just trying to catch up, and
Right.
and you guys have a great night, Doug.
Thanks much. You know, I guess we can share something personal. You know, as far as our lives, is that at night when we go to bed, I dim the lights, turn on the candles, and we do pillow talk about Hurricane Ida insurance questions. It's just sort of
that or football.
So yeah, well, you see those other wives, see how good they have it now.
I have it really well. So
all right, let's go to Max. He's got a question. Hey, Max Duxton, what do you got for us, man?
Yes, sir. Basically, I live in Marrero, and I took the 140-mile-an-hour wind east, which is front of my house, and I'm on the third adjuster that just going to come to my house this week. The first denied the regular evidence like water in the windows, roof damage, and twisted. I have big Bivolo gas lanterns twisted like a pretzel. And the second adjuster came out and it says, well, the windows are built to leak. Okay, they're designed to leak. And I said, so what about the water? And they said, well, eventually it's going to dry out. That's not the case. Okay, so what do I do when they send the third adjuster and it's going to tell me the same thing when my house has probably about $80,000 worth of damage between the roof and the windows? I have Pella windows. They're $6,000 per window. That's
That's a very common issue. Couple of things. One, if you know, I'm going to say this generically. We have a website, idahurricaneclaim.com, which address a lot of these issues. In case after we talk about it, you want to read up on it. We've got about 8 or 9 articles or blogs, probably on about every issue you'd come across. Now, as far as the windows are concerned, what happens is, what a lot of the insurance companies will say that there was a pre-existing opening that allowed the water to go through, and that's not. And they use the seepage exclusion to attempt to assert that defense and deny payment. But in essence, what happened is, especially for the windows like in Mandeville that were facing east or south, you had extraordinary, wind loads on those windows that would vibrate the windows, number one. Number two, if you looked outside outside, the rain was not falling perpendicular to the ground. It was sideways. Basically. And so that was, between the vibration, it would compromise the seal and then water was getting through. So what I would say.
Water was coming to the house. That's
yes.
Correct,
yes. So that is covered because it was an opening that was created by the wind and the rain traversed its way through it. Now, what I would suggest you do is get your contractor's estimate and also get the estimates from Pella Windows or whatever window company you use. And then also I would see if Pella Windows, if they agree with this assessment, that the reason that the windows needed to be replaced is due to the damage caused by the vibrations from the Hurricane Ida, and put that in your estimate. That would help you establish the causation issue that the insurance company is saying doesn't exist. So I would take it one step further.
I did all of that.
Okay.
Yeah, I did all of that. I even printed out the stuff from your website and I give it to them. And they said, well, I'm an engineer, and so windows are built to leak. I said, absolutely not. I said, I don't know one engineer I don't know. I will never buy a window knowing that it's going to leak.
Yeah, well, I've never seen a window advertisement say, buy our windows because they leak. I mean, that's preposterous. So what I would do is, if you could get Pella Windows to state the reason you need new windows is due to the hurricane damage. And that any water infiltration, and it says that the next thing I would do is I would document that you sent them this information, through emails and scan it to them. Is it which is it the company that wears the red shirts in the commercials and Aaron Rodgers is playing a game show host? Is it that one or another one?
No, the company's called Juaveres.
Okay. What I would do is make sure that when you submit these estimates, document that they have received it. Follow up with the email asking if they received it, and ask them if they're going to continue to deny payment, ask them to put that in writing and email it back as with with the reasons. They're probably not going to do that. So if they don't do that, follow it up with an email saying, as per our conversation, you've denied payment for my windows because you stated that windows are supposed to leak. And you make a paper trail, because what happens is if you have to go to the next level, whether you go to litigation with an attorney or some type of mediation process, if you have a paper trail demonstrating that you have informed the insurance company with evidence that there's damages and they sat on their hands and didn't do anything, they could be liable if they went to court for penalties and attorney's fees. In reality, what that means is if you go to a mediation, it increases the value of your claim for purposes of settlement value. So if you have emails showing them that you put in their lap that these windows were damaged by Hurricane Ida, that they had to be replaced, and it's all documented and they did nothing, then when it comes to mediation or if you have to go to a trial, you will have a paper trail to make a very good argument for additional damages for attorney's fees and penalties. And when the insurance company sees that the policyholder has that paper trail, they will value those claims more as far as trying to settle them because the insurance got his I's dotted and T's crossed.
Right. I think, honestly, that's probably what is going to happen. And my last question, and thank you for your time, is am I going to be able to recover attorney's fees from the insurance company if I win?
Well, if you go to trial, you have the opportunity to do that. Now, we did a couple of thousand of them after Katrina. We've only went to trial 3 times. Now, on the 3 that we went, we recovered attorney's fees. But, it does – are they going to pay attorney's fee to mediation? Maybe a little bit, but probably not. But they pay closer to the damages if they have that issue in play.
Right.
And it gives them more incentive to say, hey, our people sort of messed up on this claim. We need to put some money on it to get rid of it, which benefits the policyholder. That's the way they look at it.
Right. So basically, the way I see it is they're trying to deny as much as they can. But I won't give up because the damage is here, is physically here, and they can bring all the expert they want, with all the credentials they want. But at the end of the day, it's there.
Yeah.
And I sent the paper trail. But I thank you for your time.
All right.
Thank you for the information. We'll find out this week when the third adjuster come out.
Let them know you're not going away. Let them know you're not going away. So they note that in your file. They say this guy's not going away, and they'll be more likely to deal with you. Okay, thanks for the call. Let's go to a break. Doug Sinceri, Michelle Demers, Sinceri, the Ida Recovery Connection. We'll be right back after this brief timeout.
After Saints games, we all Monday morning quarterback. But Coach Payton and his staff get down to business, watching game tape.
Okay, I have 2 holding. The first is Sharon from Prairieville.
Who's that?
Legal question. And then we have Norman from Metairie with an insurance question.
And who else before him? Who else?
Sharon from Prairieville.
Honest conversations on the New Orleans Saints Radio Network, WWL.
It's hurricane season. Imagine for a moment that an intense storm is pounding your house.
Okay, Duck, Go.
Yeah, we'll talk to you.
Is the last spot in this set.
Who's that?
If your
Duck,
Go. Okay. I got you.
What about your retirement income strategy? The stock market has had a great run the last few years. But is its current volatility making you feel uneasy? Are you confident your retirement income strategy is built to endure a financial storm? Now may be a great time to get an evaluation on your retirement strategy. This is Glenn Pellis with Gulf South Guarantee. Call us now so we can show you how you can weatherproof your retirement nest egg. Call now for a no-obligation appointment. Don't let your retirement get caught in the rain. Call us at 877-615-4312. That's 877-615-4312. Or find us on the web at golfsouthguarantee.com.
Draftkings Sportsbook is coming soon to Louisiana. It won't be long until you can bet on all your favorite sports from the comfort of your own home. To celebrate, DraftKings Sportsbook is giving customers $100 in free bets when you sign up before they go live. No deposit required. DraftKings is bringing their experience as a leader in daily fantasy sports to the sports betting world and have created one of America's top-rated sportsbook app, DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now And use code LA Sports when you sign up. Those who sign up right now will get $100 in free bets to use once mobile sports betting hits Louisiana. That's code LA Sports to get $100 in free bets instantly. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-770-STOP. 7867. 21 and over. Louisiana only. Availability varies by parish. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for full terms and conditions.
It took years, but you did it. You found true love, your soulmate. You didn't settle. You searched until you found your perfect match. At Open Heart Jewelers, we never settle either. We constantly search the world's diamond markets for those special diamonds to create that extra special engagement ring. We offer a vast selection of unique and popular engagement ring styles, many designed and created by our own award-winning master craftsmen. We're passionate about creating the highest quality ring at the best price you'll find anywhere. So, how do we do it? We buy direct from diamond cutters all around the world, getting the lowest possible prices before they are even available to others. You didn't settle when it came to love. Why settle for ordinary when you can give extraordinary for less at Oakland Heart? Shop smart. Nothing compares to true love, and nothing compares to Oakland Heart Jewelers on Metairie Road. Beautiful in more ways than one.
So here we go again. Since Hurricane Katrina, the insurance companies have been raising our premiums and raising our deductibles. But now when we need our insurance payments to rebuild our homes and rebuild our lives, they're denying our claims and lowballing our estimates. This is Albert Nico, the Nico & Sinceri Law Firm in Metairie. Let us put our team of licensed contractors, roofers, and public adjusters to work for you so you can get your home and life back in order. Call me, Albert Nico, at 504-837-1304, and I'll make your insurance company accountable.
People's Health wants you to know that Medicare's open enrollment period is right now. For more information, call 1-855-821-2666 or visit peopleshealth.com. That's peopleshealth.com.
Dell Technologies' biggest business sale of the year has arrived. Step up your vision with top tech up to 45% off during their early access Black Friday event. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. Plus, get incredible savings on Windows 11 PCs, along with servers, monitors, and docks, all with free shipping. There's also special financing with Dell Business Credit. Get started by contacting your Dell Technologies advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Little chopper.
It's not magic that will deliver 1 billion packages to homes across the country this holiday. It's the United States Postal Service. And we don't need a team of reindeer to do it, because we've added more vehicles to our fleet. And while we don't come down your chimney, we can pick up presents for you and yours. So if making more holiday deliveries to homes in the U.S. than anyone else seems like magic, that means we're doing our job. Share the magic at USPS.com/helpers.
Your life, your hopes, and whatever you were searching for at 1:15 a.m. It's really none of our business, and it shouldn't be anyone else's. Protect your privacy online for free with DuckDuckGo. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
That's pretty hip, huh?
Back to Ida Recovery Connection on WWL, AMFM.com, and the Odyssey app. You can get expert advice now from attorney Doug Sinceri on the Oakland Heart Jewelers Talk and Text line, 504-260-1870.
Hey, we're back. The Ida Recovery Connection. That's pretty funky there, huh?
You like that music, huh?
That sounds like the Meters or something.
Oh, yeah, kind of did.
The Neville Brothers. I like that. Okay. I'm going to go to phone lines. We have.
We have.
All right. We have. We're going to talk about leaky windows, and that's how they're supposed to function later.
That's the silliest thing I've ever heard.
Yes. I'm going to ask you later whether that could be a misrepresentation that's worthy of bad faith. But in the meantime, let's go to Sharon from Prairieville, the home of the late, great Boots Garland. You know who Boots is?
No.
Sharon,
do you know who Boots Garland is?
No, I don't.
He was the track coach at LSU, and he was in the movie The Pistol, and he won a bunch of and he was the first speed coach. Yeah, he lived on Hooshoe Road. He lived on Hooshoe Road.
Sharon, welcome to my world.
Okay.
So I have a question, but it's a legal question. It's not about the storm.
Okay, we got you. We're good.
Okay, so I had taken a tenant to court for damage to my property. So I won my case, and she was making payments, but she stopped making payments. So the judge, wrote up for her to be served for arrest because she stopped making a payment. But this is the problem I'm having. She's not answering the door. They can't serve her to get her to come back to court. So what should I do at this point?
Well, it's a judgment in which court? In Baton Rouge court or
First City Court of New Orleans.
First City Court of New Orleans?
Sounds like they're trying to serve her with a contempt.
Yeah. What you're probably going to have to do is, and unfortunately, you might have to hire something called a private process server, and you have to petition the court to say you can't serve her with whatever citation you want to serve her with because she's avoiding service. So therefore, you would want to appoint a private process server to serve her. It's like a private investigator type. And what they'll do is they'll sort of hang out in front of the house, and if that person sticks, sort of steps out, they'll run over there, throw it at their feet, or serve them with it.
I've had private process servers serve people in the movie theaters while they're pumping gas.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh yes, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
So how do you find? You just Google a private process
Yeah.
in New Orleans.
Yeah, you could do private process server, and then you're going to have to file a request with the court to appoint one. I think so and then what you're going to have to do is have the judge sign off. You're going to have to say that I tried to serve them, I couldn't, and I'm sort of putting it in plain language.
Right.
So therefore, I need a private process server appointed, and then the judge you have to present an order to them for the private processor to be ordered to get service. Then you have to get the citation that you're trying to serve, and as well as the pleading, and then he goes and sort of stakes that person out and tries to serve them. Now, is it a male or female that you're trying to serve?
It's a female.
It's a female.
It's a female.
Here's what I would suggest. We used to do this for private process service. Used to say flowers, knock on the door, and then they think they're getting flowers, and they give them a summons. Or you can do, or you sort of just watch them, and when they leave their house and go to their car, you serve them there, or you follow them to work or grocery, and then you serve them there. So that's how it's done. For men, what we have done, we'd get a young lady to knock on the door, and a lot of knucklehead men will open the door and say, "Would you like, young lady?" And they do it with a subpoena, or so they have their ways to try to serve, but you would do a private process server. But you have to go through the court, ask for a motion to appoint a private process server. You got to put their name in the order, and then the judge has to sign off on that. Then you have to get a citation, and then you have to let the private processor take that and serve.
So when you say I need to get a citation, that's just the written up order. The rest.
Yeah. Yes. Whatever that is. Yes, ma'am.
To give to him. Okay, to give to her. Okay, I got it. Okay, I wrote it. I took notes, so okay.
All right, Sharon. All right, thank you. Wish you good luck there. All right, thanks. All right, thanks for the call. Let's go to Norman in Metairie. Hey, Norman, you on the Ida Recovery Connection. What can we do for you? Norman.
I think we lost Norman.
No.
Yes. Can you hear me?
I hear you, brother. What you have for us, man?
Good. All right, counselors. First of all, you're the only reason I get up early on a Sunday morning. I set my clock just because I want to get information that y'all passing on.
Well, thank you, Norman.
Doug, I have your corporation or your company representing me. See, my thing is, I got some property that I sold, commercial property, and some and my mother passed away last year. So I ended up with some inheritance. Now, because of the situation with the taxes, they pushed it back. But I want to know if I should get a CPA on this one, or just use my accountant that I use for my business.
For property taxes, or what kind of taxes?
No, for capital gains.
Oh, well, okay. First of all, you'll have a stepped up basis for your basis for the piece of property on the date of death of your mom. So if the property hasn't gone up from the time your mom died, you may not have capital gains. In other words, when did your mom pass?
April of last year.
Okay, well, April of 2020. That's the basis for any subsequent sale. So, for example, if this property was worth $100,000, let's say your mother bought it at $20,000 back in,
right,
and then on the day of death it was $100,000. Okay, right. Your basis for any capital gains is going to be at $100,000, not what your mother purchased the property at how many years ago. In this example, 20. So I don't suspect that the property appreciated that much, if any, since April of 2020, maybe a little bit, but you're only going to be paying the capital gains on the value of the property at the time, the date of death of your mom.
So do I bring in a CPA, or do I just stick with my standard?
I think it's an easy standard account. I think you're okay. I think that it's not a terribly complicated computation.
Okay, one last thing.
Sure.
I went to court this morning. I own a townhouse in Metairie, and whoever's giving the advice to my tenants, hopefully ex-tenants, it's been going on for 2.5 months now, and they just keep filing papers, and it's amazing how much information they have for people that can't speak English. No offense.
Well, it's tough being a landlord. I'll put it to you that way.
After this, guys, I'm out of the business. Once I get both my tenants out, I put my business up, my property up for sale.
And
it was nice talking to you.
All right.
Thank you.
Enjoy your
all right, my man Norman. Thanks so much. I gave up being a landlord about 15 years ago.
Yeah.
I wasn't any good at it. So let's go to a break. I hear the music. Doug Sinceri, Michelle Demers Sinceri, the Ida Recovery Connection. We'll be right back after this brief timeout.
The largest diamond store in Louisiana have 2,389 engagement rings.
We also have 904 wedding bands,
not including the one-of-a-kind wedding band we're going to make for you.
I think this guy's got wrapped up, man.
Okay, I have a caller holding. Richard has a question about a public adjuster. Richard from New Orleans.
Louisiana.
He just loves saying that.
Public
Ramsey's can make a custom wedding band that fits alongside your engagement ring perfectly.
No matter how unusual your engagement ring is.
It will look like it was made for it.
Because it was.
The sky is the limit when you come to the largest diamond store in Louisiana.
Dad, I think Aunt Lori likes saying that too.
You're going to find.
Okay, you're going to have about 3 minutes until top of the hour break.
Wedding band too.
Engagement rings and wedding bands are what we do.
And big anniversary diamonds.
Welcome to Ramsey's.
Ramsey's Diamond Jewelers, the largest diamond store in Louisiana, on Veterans between Bonneville and West End in Metairie.
Doing your best work from home is not easy when you don't have the right space. California Closets will help you create a custom solution that works for you, your family, and your life. Whether it's a small space, shared space, multifunctional space, or kids space, our professional design consultants will help you get organized and make your space one that works better for you. Now you can love where you live and work. Schedule your free in-home or virtual design consultation today at CaliforniaClosets.com.
Since 1935, the All-State Sugar Bowl has been a proud New Orleans New Year's Day tradition. Through its annual support of college football and amateur sports, the Sugar Bowl attracts hundreds of thousands of visitors to the state, providing countless opportunities for young people. Resources from these events enable the Sugar Bowl to support education and community programs, impacting thousands of New Orleans area teachers and citizens. The All-State Sugar Bowl, proud to host the best of the Big 12 and the SEC in the Superdome on New Year's Day 2022.
New Orleans and Company's Fall Food Celebration is underway through November 18th. Sunday brunches and romantic tables filled with candlelight on a random weekday night. Outdoor dining with po' boys and beignets with cafe au lait. Our grills are ready to prepare your favorite dish because some of the best moments of our lives are in our favorite restaurants. Make your reservations now and be part of the celebration of food that is New Orleans. Visit neworleans.com/fall food celebration.
If you're considering senior care for your parent and the mega-sized facilities concern you, please consider Audubon Care Homes. Audubon was developed to provide the ultimate care for 10 residents. It's nestled in a beautiful Metairie neighborhood and provides amenities the big facilities simply can't offer, including the industry's highest caregiver-to-resident ratio. Take a virtual tour of Audubon Care Homes Dreyfus House by visiting their website at auduboncarehomes.com. That's auduboncarehomes.com.
At GiveMeTheVin.com, we know what it's like selling your car. It's scary. Look at the online reviews of my competition. The more you look at their reviews and then the more you look at Give Me the Vin's reviews, the more you're going to want to do business with GiveMeTheVin.com because we are quick, easy, and you don't get lied to. And that's our goal at America's very best car buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Is your retirement plan out of tune? Learn how to get yours in tune with the First Security Financial Show. Join host David Compton Saturday morning 8 to 9 for helpful tips to retirement. The First Security Financial Show, Saturdays on WWL.
Earn your executive MBA in 17 months on Saturdays at Southeastern Louisiana University. Our accredited program offers general management and healthcare concentrations. Classes start in January. Contact Dr. John Cresson, Director, at 985-549-2146.
From C13 Features. A new
Okay, we're going live after this.
experience.
He's back!
Help me!
Get out of there.
It's here.
No, don't let them in.
You can experience Treat, a podcast movie starring Kiernan Shipka, for free on Odyssey, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you listen to your podcasts. Grab some popcorn and enjoy the show.
Back to the Ida Recovery Connection on the station you turn to when it counts. WWL, the Big 870 AM, 105.3 FM, WWL.com, and the Odyssey app.
Hey!
Contact attorney Doug Sinceri now on the Oakland Heart Jewelers Talk and Text line, 504-260-1870.
Hey, we're back. Doug Sinceri, Michelle Demers Sinceri. Ida Recovery Connection. I think we'll have more listeners because the Braves are up 6-0 and running away with game 6.
So is it the end tonight if they
Well,
win?
Atlanta wins. If not, they'll go to game 7 with the, go to a game 7.
Sure.
So 6-0. So I shouldn't say that.
Why?
I don't know. I mean, it's people are coming. They're saying, I'm not going to watch that game anymore. We're going to listen to us now.
There you go.
There you go. Let's go to the phone lines. Let's go to Richard. He's got a question regarding public adjusters. Hey, Richard. You on the Auto Recovery Connection. Good.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm doing great.
Oh yeah, I just called. Of course, I live in New Orleans area here, and I've just been had so many different people coming different prices on the roof. You know, I got some roof damage and some fence damage. But there's another guy I talked to. He said something about a public adjustment. Actually, my first time hearing about that. So is that real public adjuster?
Well, what a public adjuster does is they're basically a contractor, or they do a damage assessment of the hurricane damages, and they put it in the same computer program as the insurance companies called Xactimate or another program that's similar to that, and they help quantify the damages. They're very helpful if you have, you need to pull together flooring, sheetrock, a bunch of different trades. They can basically put one estimate or formulate one estimate for a lot of different issues: roof, sheetrock, flooring, cabinets, and they help can quantify the adjustment. Also, they can help maybe even facilitate an appraisal process where you have a process for in insurance policy where you have your estimate, the insurance company has an estimate, and they submit it to an umpire. The disadvantage to the public adjusters is if the insurance company says no, they really don't have an enforcement mechanism through litigation. So That's the disadvantage. But they're very helpful. It's good to maybe talk to an attorney, talk to a public adjuster, or decide whether you can do it yourself. They can be helpful. Okay. I have some more comments about them, but we got to go to news. We've got national news, local news. I'll make the comments after the break, so stay tuned on the Ida Recovery Connection. We'll be back in 10 minutes.
The News Talk Sports Powerhouse. WWL New Orleans, WWL FM and HD1 Kenner New Orleans, and Odyssey Station.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Rocket Mortgage.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper in Chicago. Just in, CBS News is projecting that Eric Adams will become the next mayor of New York City, defeating Republican and Guardian Angels founder Curtis Sliwa. Meantime, some consider it a bellwether for the midterms, and the Virginia governor's race is currently leaning Republican, with Glenn Youngkin leading Democrat Terry McAuliffe. CBS's Jim Krasula in Chantilly, Virginia.
President Joe Biden won independents here in Virginia by 20% in 2020, but the majority of them voted for Republican Glenn Youngkin this time. They were a bit older compared to those who voted in 2020, and more white independents voted than minority independents. 6 in 10 independents voting in the governor's race disapproved of the job Mr. Biden is doing as president. Jim Krasula, CBS News, Chantilly, Virginia.
U.S. health officials give the okay for Pfizer's COVID vaccine to be given to children as young as 5.
I'm Peter King. CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky's announcement comes hours after this.
We have a total of 14 yeses, 0 no's, and so the motion passes.
A vote and recommendation from a CDC advisory panel. It's the first time Americans under 12 can get any of the COVID-19 vaccines. Pfizer says it's already shipped millions of doses to states, doctors' offices, and pharmacies. The special children's shots contain just a third of the dose given to teens and adults. Peter King, CBS News.
After the climate summit in Scotland, President Biden says focusing on climate issues benefits the economy.
Investing in our clean energy future is an enormous opportunity for every country to create good-paying jobs and spur a broad-based economic recovery.
Democratic lawmakers have reached a deal on legislation to lower prescription drug prices as part of their social infrastructure bill. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer.
We've heard this from people across the country who have serious illnesses and can't afford their medicine. What a painstaking position to be in. It's horrible.
An environmental group plans to sue the federal government over aging oil rigs off the Southern California coast. KNX's Emily Valdez reports.
This comes a month after a pipeline leaked 25,000 gallons of oil into the ocean, killing and injuring wildlife.
The agency has really been asleep at the wheel.
Miyoko Sakashita with the Center for Biological Diversity said federal regulators have not required updated drilling plans for the decades-old oil rigs, which were supposed to be decommissioned in 2007. The exact cause of the oil leak is still under investigation. Emily Valdez for CBS News, Los Angeles.
The Dow closed up 139 points today. This is CBS News.
This hour's newscast is presented by Rocket Mortgage. Need to know what it takes for a home loan to fit your budget and your family? Rocket.
This health tip is sponsored by Eggland's Best. This health tip is sponsored by Eggland's Best. A warm muffin can be a satisfying way to start your day. Up your muffin game with low-carb maple sausage muffins. Cook the sausage, drain the grease, and mix the meat with 6 whisked Eggland's Best eggs, almond flour, coconut flour, baking powder, mozzarella cheese, and sweetener. Today, better nutrition and great taste are more important than ever. That's why Eggland's Best gives you and your family more. And that's healthy news for everyone. Only Eggland's Best.
I'm Dr. Stork. Doesn't your family deserve the best? Eggland's Best Eggs. Classic, cage-free, and organic give you and your family more. More delicious, farm-fresh taste, plus superior nutrition. Compared to ordinary eggs, Eggland's Best provides 6 times more vitamin D, 10 times more vitamin E, and 25% less saturated fat. These are no ordinary times, so why choose an ordinary egg? Only Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
WWL First News. I'm Chris Miller on your official weather station, WWL AMFM.com.
Our fall feel sticks around for quite a while. Another beautiful day with sunny skies and still very nice for Wednesday, although clouds will start increasing later in the day with an approaching cold front. Not looking at much in the way of rainfall. Models have really backed off on our rain chances, so maybe a few stray showers Thursday, but staying chilly on Thursday afternoon. Highs only in the low 60s and highs only in the mid to upper 60s by Friday and into the start of the weekend.
The local weather expert forecast from WWL TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Franklin is on the way. New Orleans Mayor LaToya Cantrell appears to be in great shape headed into her re-election, according to a recent UNO poll.
She currently enjoys a 57% job approval rating, while about 30% disapprove of her job performance.
UNO pollster Ed Shervinack says her approval mirrors past New Orleans mayors after one term, and like those mayors, it's almost a certainty that she'll win re-election. But there was a stark racial divide in support. 70% of New Orleans blacks approve of the mayor's job, while only 42% of New Orleans whites said the same. Elsewhere, the race for city council at large, Division 2, is up in the air. J.P. Morrell holds an 8-point lead over Kristen Palmer, but 40% of voters remain undecided.
You seem to have an electorate that's not really checked in on the election yet.
Matt Doyle, WWL First News.
Louisiana Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser says he worries crime in New Orleans will hurt efforts to rebuild tourism in the wake of Hurricane Ida and the pandemic. He wants the city to hire more police.
If we've got to offer $10,000 a year for 3 years, and I'm just throwing that number out, to recruit police to New Orleans, we've got to have more police on the streets, and we've got to work to keep the criminals behind bars.
Nungesser says he has a plan to help out. He wants to bring it to the state legislature. The Louisiana Department of Health reports just 247 new cases of coronavirus today. Hospitalizations for COVID-19 have fallen to numbers not seen since June, 247. Another 10 people have died from the disease. LSU's Pennington Biomedical Research Center, along with LSU Health New Orleans and Tulane Health Sciences, taking part in a National Institutes of Health study on the impacts of long COVID. Pennington lead investigator John Kerwin says they will compare blood samples of a control group to those who have symptoms of long COVID.
And we hope, as a result of that, be able to identify what the causes are and how we could potentially treat this condition.
As many as 30% of COVID patients experience symptoms that last at least a month or longer.
Now, your Garcia Roofing forecast on WWL.
Good to hear from you, Sterling.
Gorgeous day, which will continue through most of the week with the exception of Thursday as another cold front pushes on through. Nice start to the day Wednesday with morning lows in the 40s and 50s and sunny skies, but increasing clouds throughout the day Wednesday and mostly cloudy to overcast on Thursday with only a few showers. Models have really backed off on our rain chances Thursday as another cold front pushes on through. Winds will be increasing and high temperatures Thursday, upper 50s and lower 60s, so a chilly day on Thursday. A mostly cloudy start to the day Friday, but more sunshine as we continue through the day, a high of only 67. 69 degrees our high on Saturday, plenty of sunshine, low 70s on Sunday, and may start to see some of that Gulf moisture return a bit for early next week, but still very pleasant. From your local weather expert forecast center, I'm WWL-TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Franklin.
I'm Chris Miller, WWL First News.
From the station you turn to when it counts, WWL, AMFM.com, and the Odyssey app, Louisiana's official emergency management station. This is Ida Recovery Connection with attorney Doug Sinceri.
Thank you.
Connect now on the Oakland Hart Jewelers Talk and Text line, 504-260-1870. Now, beaming back to our Jefferson Financial Federal Credit Union studio, here's Doug.
Hey, we're back. The Ida Recovery Connection, hour number 2. We're on till 10 o'clock. And we're on every Tuesday until Miss Diane tells us she's had enough of us.
She's had enough. Don't.
Or Ian. Ian Hope. Remember Ian when we started out like 13 years ago? He was our board out. Now he's running the place. That shows you what hard work does.
That's right.
He's great. You know, and when he substitutes for Scoot, I'll read the little messages, and they're like, Ian should have his own show. He's good.
Yeah, he's good.
Oh, he does a great job. So, and we're not going to be on All Things Legal the next 3 Sundays.
Because of the Saints.
Because Saints coverage starts at 8 a.m. Join sideline reporter Steve Geller and prime time Scott Alexander. as I have to obligatory statement that Scott Alexander was a De La Salle grad. He's a couple of years younger. He was closer to your age, huh?
Yeah, he was in my
Uh, for the fans' first take live from Rouse's Market in the CBD at 701 Barone. We love Rouse's also. At 10 o'clock countdown to kickoff with the first quarterback to lead the Saints to the playoffs, Bobby Hebert, Christian Garrick, and Mike Detillier. Game time, high noon, voice of the Saints, Mike Haas, and Saints color analysis, Deuce McAllister with sideline reporter Steve Geller. Then sound off after the game, which is great, with the Cajun Cannon and Christian on the point after till 6 o'clock. At 6 o'clock. So there you go. That's why we're not on. So for some reason, they don't want us on if we get preempted by the Saints. We had a discussion a little bit about public adjusters, and we had to go to news. It was a hard break. But basically what the public adjusters do is they quantify your damages. And
the insured pays them.
Yeah. Now that's one of the things I did want to talk about, and this goes for attorneys too. Is I would make sure they usually the public adjusters charge by the hour with a cap, not to exceed maybe 10%. But
of your recovery.
Well, the only thing I would caution, and I'd say the same caution if you hire an attorney, usually the attorneys charge a percentage of the new money, but I would try to get as much money on your own as you can before you hire a public adjuster and an attorney, because if you don't, maybe some of the money that would be coming to you anyway, the attorney or the public adjuster may charge a percentage of. Now, the public adjusters can't charge a percentage per se, because that would be in violation of the Louisiana Bar Association rules and practice and law. But what they normally do is have an hourly rate that won't exceed a certain percentage of the recovery. So you just want to make sure that recovery is not that percentage is not based on money that you received already or would have received regardless. In other words, it's based on the initial inspection of the claims adjuster for the insurance company, or it was based on your initial contents list or your ALE.
So explain to people who are listening, what exactly do they do besides do an adjustment?
Well, really what they do is they quantify the damages, and they'll sort of point you in the right direction on dealing with the insurance company.
But do they negotiate with the insurance company?
That's an interesting subject, because the Bar Association sort of watches them, and a certain threshold becomes negotiation with an insurance company. And at that point, there's been some issues as to whether a public adjuster would practice in law or not. I think the Bar Association here is very judicious in protecting its turf, I guess, for lack of a better word. Whereas in Texas, public adjusters have pretty much free reign to negotiate with insurance companies. So it varies from state to state.
The bar looks at negotiations as practicing law?
Yes, in Louisiana.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, but I think they're very helpful, especially if you have a lot of damages with a lot of different trades: electrical, sheetrock, flooring, roof. They can tie it all together for you. Now, you pay. I guess ultimately you'd have a higher fee for an attorney, but they can go to the next level and file a lawsuit to collect the remainder of the amounts in dispute, whereas a public adjuster can't do that.
Can you use your public adjuster as a witness?
Absolutely, absolutely, and a lot of public adjusters already admitted as experts in the field of contracting or public adjusting with the courts, and that's very, very helpful. Now, you have actually 2 years to try to resolve your claim. 2 years from August 29th, so you have to about August 29th, 2023 to resolve your insurance claim. If you don't, you do have to file a lawsuit in order to keep your claim alive, or it'll expire. If you file a lawsuit, it stops that 2-year period from tolling, and you can continue to negotiate while it's in litigation. But if you do not settle your claim within 2 years and you don't file a lawsuit, then your claim goes away.
Right.
It expires. So, I think what we try to do is give you good information In some situations, homeowners would rather a public adjuster. In some situations, they would rather an attorney. It just depends on your preference at that particular time. I think maybe the fees are small or lower for a public adjuster, but they don't have the enforcement mechanism to file suit. They can say, they don't really have,
There's no teeth in them.
Well, if the insurance company says no, you sort of stuck in some ways. Whereas an attorney said, okay, well, we'll just file suit and we can do some things to make, to sort of get after the insurance companies and also pursue a penalty or attorney fee claim if it's warranted, which a lot of them would be. So it's just a matter of what your preference is. I always say, talk to the attorneys, talk to the public adjusters, and use your own independent thought as to what's best for you. I think, I always, my philosophy is just give people knowledge, and they'll make the best decisions for themselves. And sometimes some people feel like I'd rather go with a public adjuster. Some people want to say I want to go with an attorney. It's just whatever. After listening to all the information, understanding it, using independent thought, which is not encouraged in our society anymore, and make a decision. So, especially I won't go there, but
yeah, stay off of that.
I'll stay off that. So that we're talking about that. Now, you're still, I could see, what's that saying? You guys still got to be in your hive or something?
Bee in your bonnet.
Be in your bonnet, yeah.
I have a bee in my bonnet. I have a bee in my bonnet about the caller from the first hour.
Right, because we had a caller who's had water infiltration through their windows, and he indicated that.
And he has expensive windows. He has
Pella windows. Those are good windows.
They are. They're excellent windows.
I mean, those are like some of the best. And we're just saying that not for any other reason, but the fact being true. If I didn't think they were, I would just move on.
That's right.
And it was related that windows are supposed to leak.
His adjuster told him that I think he said the adjuster told him an engineer had said that windows were designed to leak. So I got on the internet during a break to see if I could find any windows that were sold with the advertisement that our windows leak. I couldn't find any.
You couldn't find any?
I couldn't find any. I saw a bunch of articles about why windows leak and how to fix them, but nothing about windows leak. So I don't know. I was thinking possibly that maybe that could be a misrepresentation of pertinent facts, which the insurance company has a duty not to do.
Okay. Now, there are a set of laws that govern insurance companies on their claims handling. And if they're in bad faith, they could be liable for penalties such as all the way up to double damages plus attorney's fees. That's what the law says. And they could be liable for that for being in bad faith. And the bad faith is defined in the law. And one of the provisions of bad faith is
misrepresenting pertinent facts.
So I would say if I was that caller and I had the insurance company telling me that windows are supposed to leak, and when water gets through these windows, it's supposed to leak and damage your home during a hurricane, that we're not responsible for it, I would document that they said that.
I would too.
And then I would use that if you have to go to the next level or trying to settle your claim and say, hey, I think you guys are in bad faith. You actually said this in misrepresenting what your policy may or may not cover.
Right. And we always tell everybody, and I mean, not only with hurricane work, just with all
legal matters.
Document. I always tell people, if you've had a conversation with an adjuster, follow up with an email. This email will serve to confirm and just restate what the conversation is. So you can make sure that there was no miscommunication, and B, really more just for documentation purposes.
Now, I know this as far as the insurance companies are concerned and how they value claims. If they see an insured confirming the conversations, documenting their claim, they will pay more attention to that claim when it's time to try to resolve it.
Sure.
And they will put a greater value, which means they'll put more money on it, if you can demonstrate that you have documented their inability to properly adjust the claim. And so that goes in. You might have two identical claims, one that's not documented and one that is. If you have identical damages and they want to resolve it, they might pay higher for the claim that is documented more thoroughly because they understand they have exposure if it gets to the next level in a trial.
Yeah, and I always tell my clients as well, I know that a vast majority of people communicate. Some of my clients try to get me to practice law over text. And while text is a great method of just instant communication, if you're dealing with an adjuster and you are texting your adjuster, if you are going to confirm conversations, confirm it in an email. They're easier to prove. They're easier to print up. Sometimes you don't have the best evidence with just screenshot of texts. Texts are more able to be able to delete parts of the string, and they're just not the best evidence.
Now, I think this is a good time to talk about what we talk about all the time, which is the is that the music going? I guess that's the music. We'll talk about it after the break because we got the Beatles music on. The best way to, don't call all the time and expect that to carry the day.
Right.
So we're going to, and also the change of mindset, which we talk about today, is really on the policyholder to establish damages, not the insurance company. So if you get that into your brain, then you'll understand what you need to do. All right, let's go to a break. Doug Sinceri, Michelle Demers Sinceri on the Ida Recovery Connection. We'll be right back after this brief time out.
WWL is your home team, home of the New Orleans Saints, home of the LSU Fighting Tigers, home of Bobby Hebert, Deuce McAllister, and Mike Hollis. For all pro analysis of the teams you love, catch Sports Talk with Bobby Hebert, Christian Garrick, and Mike Detillier, weekdays 4 to 8 p.m. Then game day, turn up the home team. WWL.
Draftkings Sportsbook is coming soon to Louisiana. It won't be long until you can bet on all your favorite sports from the comfort of your own home. To celebrate, DraftKings Sportsbook is giving customers $100 in free bets when you sign up before they go live. No deposit required. DraftKings is bringing their experience as a leader in daily fantasy sports to the sports betting world and have created one of America's top-rated sportsbook apps, DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code BIG870 when you sign up. Those who sign up right now will get $100 in free bets to use once mobile sports betting hits Louisiana. That's code BIG870 to get $100 in free bets instantly. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-770-STOP. 7867. 21 and over. Louisiana only.
Okay, I have Greg from Metairie on. He has an insurance payment question.
At Mike Brenner Injury Attorneys, we know that car wrecks don't keep regular business hours, and neither do we. If you've been hurt in a wreck after 5 p.m., don't wait until tomorrow to get the help you need right now. We have people standing by, ready to take your
Last spot on the set is community tax.
Gotcha.
Ready to help you get the medical attention you need. You don't have to wait till tomorrow to call an attorney. Call me, Mike Brandner. We're the 24/7 injury attorneys, and we're available to get you the help you need right now.
Hurt in the wreck, Mike Brandner's the one. Call 345-1111.
Results may vary. Offices in Metairie and Hammond.
Go to RayBrandAuto.com.
This is Newell for the Ray Brand Auto Group. Used car values are at an all-time high due to supply and demand constraints. Have you been told you owe more than what your vehicle is worth, or there's too much time left on your lease? Think again. Pre-owned values have skyrocketed, so sell them your vehicle today while the market is still hot. Visit any Ray Brand dealership website to get your KBB instant cash value or swing into one of their stores today. Check it out and come to RayBrandAuto.com.
Go to RayBrandAuto.com.
At Open Heart Jewelers, we offer a vast selection of breathtaking diamond jewelry. Choose from dazzling rings, earrings, bracelets, and necklaces like no other, and in every price range. Shop jewelry from the Open Heart Collection, designed exclusively for New Orleans by our award-winning craftsmen, right here in our Metairie Road store. For that special jewelry for that one-of-a-kind love, shop smart for the best prices possible at Open Heart Jewelers. Beautiful in more ways than one.
Vinyltech is here to help our hometown recover. We've tripled our staff and can respond to roofing quotes online within 24 hours and install your new roof within 3 days. This is our hometown, and no one can get you back to exterior pre-storm conditions faster. This isn't a job for us. This is our passion, and this time it's personal. Our services include tarping, roofing, siding, gutters, windows, stucco, and patio covers. Get your roofing quote within 24 hours and a roof within 3 days now at vinyltechnola.com.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay,
All right, this is the last spot, and we have Greg from Metairie with insurance payment.
All right. All right.
from IRS collection efforts
Hey,
once and
we're
for
on
all. Due to the
25
financial hardship
seconds.
consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has
maybe
been
he knows they got
established by
some
Community Tax for
200,000
consumers
votes
to
in his
call
back
and see if they
pocket.
qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax
Was that what they were
helpline
saying? He
at
won't concede?
800-256-4180. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or
Trying to
even
keep
if
a
you
good
have
face
years
on.
of unfiled tax returns,
Think he
there's
knows
no
something?
need to fear anymore. But you have to call the
Where's
Community
Greg
Tax
from?
helpline today at
Metairie.
800-256-4180 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-256-4180 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-256-4180.
Today in sports history.
Thanks for joining attorney Doug Sinceri on the Ida Recovery Connection. From the station you turn to when it counts. WWL. Consult with Doug now on the Open Heart Jewelers talk and text line. 504-260-1870.
Hey, we're back. Doug Sinceri, Michelle Demers Sinceri. The Ida Recovery Connection on November 2nd. Today's All Souls Day, because yesterday was All Saints Day.
So what happens on All Souls Day?
I think it's the ones who hadn't made it yet.
Oh,
You got to light a few candles, say a few prayers to nudge them into heaven, I think. Is that the deal?
I have no idea.
I got to check my catechism.
I don't know.
So, I don't know. So today's all, but you know what else happened on November 2nd, 1969? Saints Billy Kilmer taught 6 touchdown passes in a win against the St. Louis Cardinals. You remember that game?
Mm-hmm.
I watched it. I was 7 years old. I remember that.
Yeah.
The Saints won 51-42. Billy Kilmer threw 6 touchdown passes, and St. Louis quarterback Charlie Johnson, you remember him?
No.
Threw 6 touchdown passes for a total of 12, which were an NFL record. So the touchdown passes were Ernie Wheelwright. You remember him?
No.
20 yards. He was great. Danny Abramowitz. You know Danny.
I don't know the name.
Well, he's back on the North Shore. He had one for 5 yards. Don Shy had one for 28 yards. Danny had another one for 11 yards. And Dave Parks, the former San Francisco 49er, had 13 touchdown catch for
What year
13
was
yards. 1969. You were just a baby then.
I was.
And Al Dodd had 7 catches for 145 yards. And Tony Baker had 110 yards on 14 rushes. That was an NFL record at that time.
Do you
12
remember
touchdowns.
all that?
I remember the game. I did. I remember the game they played in Busch Stadium in St. Louis. I do remember that. So
What did you do yesterday?
I have no idea. I have no idea. Can't remember that far back. Let's go to the phone lines. Let's go to Greg in Metairie. Hey, Greg, how can we help you, brother?
How you doing?
Good.
Look, I graduated from Del Salle a couple years ahead of you, so I
There.
appreciate all your help.
There you go.
Quick question. 3 weeks ago, I had an independent adjuster come out to my house in Metairie. Works for the company with the, shall we say, the red vest.
The red vest.
Yes, sir.
Aaron Rodgers and number 15 for the Chiefs. We know that.
Independent adjuster gave me, first time he came out, there was a snafu with the computer system at State Farm, and they gave me basically a one-page report that was non-compliant with everything they were supposed to do. So I called my agent. He came back out a second time. Came out the second time and gave me a proposal. Long story short, it had a dollar amount on it. 3 weeks later, Saturday, I get an email from State Farm saying the second check that I was due was X amount. X amount is less than what they gave me on the first report, and the second report is less than the first report from the independent adjuster by $800.
And what to do next?
Correct. That's the point of my call.
Yeah. Well, what happened was, I can tell you the mechanism is when
the adjuster said it was something about what State Farm or everybody else does is consolidation. I can't remember the exact terminology used, but long story short is they compared the independent adjuster's report to their report. They said they like their numbers better than his numbers, so that's the numbers they're going with.
We call it a write down. What happens is the field adjuster makes one recommendation, and the desk adjuster shaves it off and writes it down to a lesser amount, which happens often. And I guess this is part of the change of mindset. The insurance company, really, you're going to have to establish your own damages for the insurance company, because basically what they're saying is we're gonna throw you this bone, we're gonna throw you this low ball adjustment, and you're gonna have to prove that you're entitled to more than what we paid you. And so that's sort of the focus of what you have to do next. Now, whether
What you and Michelle have said is, I forgot the word, you coordinate or quantify your damages?
Quantify your damages, exactly. Now, it depends on how you want to do that. If you can get a general contractor who's going to do the work to do it for you, and it would be great if he had an Xactimate program to do it, because it makes he doesn't. Here's the second. He does. Yeah. Perfect. So what you get him to do is to do a quantification of the damages, and then you email it to them, and you say, okay, I'm just throwing some numbers out. My estimate is $60,000. You paid us $20,000. I want the difference. And you quantify that. And once you give them that information, you prove that they have it. And what you do is you do that standard, I think it's statefarmclaims.com or one of those, or fire claims, and you put your claim number in the reference, and it'll get to whoever it needs to get to. And then you just keep track of that. They have 30 days after they receive that to decide what portion of that estimate is undisputed, and they have to pay you that. Now, they often make another payment, not because out of benevolence, but they want to minimize their exposure if they have to go to the next level. So they'll say, okay, we'll give you some more money. A lot of times, a portion of it based on that estimate. And after that, you can do one of two things. You can actually make the repairs and bill them as you go along. And then if they don't pay, then they're also maybe in a bad faith situation. Or another thing you could do is ask the adjuster to come out with your contractor, and y'all go room to room and have a consensus on what the State Farm's going to pay for the repairs of each room. And agree.
The real predicament I've got is, and I'll just tell you briefly, I've got a aluminum overhang off the back of my house. When the first adjuster came out, I pointed out there were a bunch of what I call indentations in the aluminum roof. He said that there were, quote unquote, no hail in Hurricane Ida. Well, I beg to differ, because I rode out the storm in my house and was sitting in the living room for the 5 or 6 hours while it was coming through, and point out to him that all these indentations were not there prior to Hurricane Ida. So long story short, not only do I have damages to the house, but also the aluminum overhang. And all I'll tell you and Michelle is that aluminum overhangs in today's world are not terribly inexpensive. They're a lot more than people think they are. So long story short, I was, as you said, I was given, I thought, a rather low-end amount considering the damage to the aluminum overhang. But once again, I guess I can argue with the adjusters when they say, quote unquote, Hurricane Ida was not a storm that had hail in it.
Well,
Have you heard anything along those lines?
Well, I haven't heard that State Farm was omnipresent, meaning they were everywhere, all over the place. I mean, I don't know.
You didn't happen to video.
All I can tell you is the sound that I heard from sitting in my living room about 10:30, 11 o'clock Sunday night on the 29th was like I thought my roof was coming off, because it was literally my house was shaking at that point.
Well, you see, we had that issue 16 years ago with the same company on a lot of the claims, and they said the winds, I think, in Slidell didn't exceed 110 miles an hour. But what you can't determine is that you have downdrafts, where you might have a downdraft that's maybe 150, 180 miles an hour, that it affects one house, but it might not affect the one next to it.
And what I'll tell you is I'm a single-story house adjacent to a two-story house to the left and to the right, right of me, and then I've got a two-story house in back of me, and then a raised house adjoining me. So, long story short is, when I was sitting in my living room, my two doors out of my living room got sucked out.
Yeah.
So I know that the quote unquote the downdraft was so violent that it literally broke two doors and got deadbolts and a doorknob on it.
Right, and again, you can't to make the statement that there was no hail in Hurricane Ida is just one of those knee-jerk reactions of something that is unwise to say. I was
It's
going to
kind of
say
like
stupid.
saying your windows are supposed to leak.
Yeah, there you go.
Earlier, Michelle. So I mean, it's. I mean, all I'll say is he wasn't in my house.
Right.
He really can't. You know, all I kind of refer to back what Michelle said is that he is misjudging or misstating what could be a fact that I know that he doesn't know.
Right, exactly. There you go. In fact, I'm going to steal that, and I'll cite you, Greg, because you learn from Mr. Stabler and all the great teachers at De La Salle. I can tell that De La Salle education has helped.
I mean, long story short is the only thing I guess I picked up from Michelle is also I've got an adjuster now that's in a different state than Louisiana. And I guess what I heard from you, Michelle, is I probably should start sending emails to verify whatever conversation he had with me. Is that what you and Michelle
Absolutely. When they tell you that there was no hail in Hurricane Ida, said this confirms our conversation on November 2nd, where it's State Farm's position that there was no hail, never was any hail, and it's impossible to have any hail during this rainstorm. You know, and also a request for your demand. So just document, quantify your damages. I'll tell you what, if you stay with it, you know, a lot of times they take a change in direction.
Sure.
Good luck.
Okay.
All right, Greg.
Thanks for calling.
All right, go Cavs. How you about
There you
that? There you go. Let's go to a break. Doug Sinceri, Michelle Demers Sinceri, Ida Recovery Connection. We'll be right back after this brief timeout.
Every Friday at 4 p.m., the countdown to the football weekend officially begins with Deuce McAllister and me, Mike Hoss. Join us for Fans and the Pros as we break down all the games, from the Saints' next opponent and key matchups in the NFC South to LSU's next battle and big clashes in the SEC. We'll make our picks and hear the picks from you.
That's what I was trying to
fans out
when I
there
was
who
trying to
believe
tell. I was
black
writing
and gold
Diane.
and purple and gold. Hoss and Deuce, Fans and the Pros, Fridays 4 to 7 p.m. here on WWL.
This is Glenn Pellis with Gulf South Guarantee. Does your money need to get a job? You worked hard for it, and it should work hard for you. Lazy money is just sitting there, taking up space, not earning its keep. If you have lazy money laying around, call me at 877-615-4312. You might have lazy money lurking in a savings account at the bank, collecting very little interest, or in a CD that isn't earning much of anything, or maybe it's just stuffed under your mattress.
It's almost like
wherever your lazy money is, it's time to get it to work for you. Call us now at 877-615-4312. You could be leaving a lot of money on the table by allowing it to sit on the couch. Get your lazy money a job today. Call me now.
Okay, last spot in this set is Duck, Go.
877-615-4312. Or find us on the web at Golf.
No callers at the moment.
Have you heard all these new national chain store ads that claim guaranteed low price? Like it's something new? Well, it isn't. It's just a lot of noise. Oakland Heart has been offering a best price guarantee for decades on the most exquisite diamond jewelry in the region. It's one reason why Gambit readers once again voted us best local jeweler. Apparently being local and honest means something. In New Orleans, we have a culture of creating the best of just about everything. Our music, our food, even our jewelry. At Oakland Heart, we're passionate about designing and creating a vast selection of beautiful jewelry in every price range. Diamond stud and hoop earrings, bracelets, pendants, and rings. From our award-winning designers and top brands around the globe. Shop online and around town. Simply compare. You'll find that we offer finer diamonds and the best price. Oakland Heart on Metairie Road. Beautiful in more ways than one.
Louisiana Secretary of State Kyle Ardoin.
Early voting for the November election begins October 30th, ending November 6th. If you live in an area affected by Hurricane Ida, visit geauxvote.com or call 800-883-2805 for information on absentee ballots, polling place changes, and election dates and deadlines.
SNBC.
I'm Secretary of State Kyle Ardwan, reminding you to go vote.
At MD Anderson Cancer Center, our thoracic subspecialists are raising the standard in lung cancer care. We use advanced genomic testing to develop personalized therapies for each patient's cancer. With leading-edge technology like proton therapy, gamma knife and robotic surgery, and innovative clinical trials, we'll do whatever it takes to help our patients face and overcome lung cancer. Learn more at mdandersonlungcancer.com.
Keeps is working overtime getting our region powered up and cool. If your family
Don
needs
Lemon,
AC or
he's the other
generator
one.
services,
I'll see you
call
now.
us today. For the
Hey,
quickest
hey.
recovery possible and for fast relief, call Keith.
Something's pulling on there.
And now electrical.
Yeah.
People's
Jeffy.
Health wants you to know that
I understand,
Medicare's
I know.
open enrollment period is right now. For more information, call 1-855-821-2666 or visit peopleshealth.com. That's peopleshealth.com.
Wherever your next adventure lies, the 2021 Highlander and Tundra are ready to take you there. Visit your local Toyota
Phone's clear.
or Toyota.com today.
At Dependable Storage, we want your stuff. DependableStorage.com.
Have you tried learning a new language but it never seems to stick? That's because there's more to language than learning vocab words. Babbel is different. Babbel's multiple ways to learn helps you explore every aspect of a new language, anytime, right from your phone or computer. Practice real-life conversations in the Babbel app.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
Get personalized help from an instructor in Babbel's live online classes.
Classes are limited to 6 people. We keep them small so everyone can get the help they need.
Review words and phrases with fun games, or dive into the culture with short videos. Everything from the interactive lessons and live online classes to the podcasts and videos will teach you things you'll actually use. So you're ready for
figured out how
real-life
many votes I
conversations.
need to cheat.
With Babbel, you can speak a new language. Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free. Just go to Babbel.com to start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Your life,
Here we
your
go.
hopes, and whatever you were searching for at 1:15 a.m. It's really none of our business, and it shouldn't be anyone else's. Protect your privacy online for free with DuckDuckGo. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
It's continuing coverage of the Ida recovery on WWL-AMFM.com and the Odyssey app. Reach attorney Doug Sinceri now on the Oakland Heart Jewelers Talk and Text line, 504-260-1870.
Right, we're back. Doug Sinceri, Michelle Demers Sinceri on the Ida Recovery Connection. We're going to be on every Tuesday. We're not going to be on Wednesdays anymore. Every Tuesday until Diane and Ian said they had enough of us. So hopefully we're
nothing like a definitive schedule.
That's right. So and also we're not going to be all things legal for the next 3 Sundays because we're preempted by the Saints, and we'll be back November 28th, the weekend of Thanksgiving, because the Saints play the Buffalo Bills on Thanksgiving night.
Oh, they do?
Yes. So we start Thanksgiving later so that everybody can stay.
We did that last year too.
We did that. Yeah. Was that last year or 2 years ago? I think it was 2 years ago.
Was it 2 years ago?
When they played on Thursday night. They played the Cowboys, I think, didn't they? So, so we'll be on next Saturday from 8 to 10. And also, another thing we want to talk about. You were talking about earlier about document. Now, I spend a lot of time. A lot of people listen to the show, and I call and I spend a little time with them. And they're saying, I've been calling my adjuster. He won't call me back. I've called him 50 times, 20 times, 10 times, whatever. And they won't call back. And I said, there's 2 problems. One, they're waiting for their claim summary or they're waiting for their check. I said, there's 2 issues with that. Number 1, you got to start working on quantifying your own damages. And number 2, document that they're not returning calls. So every time you call and then they don't respond, hit them with the email saying, you came and inspected my residence back in September. I'm still waiting for the initial payment. I've tried to call you today. No return call. And do that every time they don't return the call. I guarantee you, after 4 or 5 emails, they'll return your call. Because basically, especially a lot of the smaller companies are short-staffed. And as what you have to do if you're dealing with some of the small insurance companies is you're going to have to create a fire or urgency in order for them to address you. And that's one of the ways to do that. Also, it helps if you have to go to the next level to collect the rest of your money in the litigation process. If you have all these emails documenting their non-response, then again, you can make that claim that the insurance company was in bad faith. And if you have that claim documented, it increases the value of your claim because the insurance company looks at it from a actuarial standpoint. They say, what's our exposure here?
Right.
And their exposure is greater for a well-documented file versus one that's not.
And I think if you're going to document that you've called them, I'd also put in that email the purpose of the call.
There you go. There you go.
Get as much detail as you can.
Smoking like a Dominican grad.
There you go.
1983.
My parents earned got their money's worth.
They did get their money. You and that Supreme Court justice are probably the two most famous barristers from Dominican. You 1 and 1A.
I'm sure there's a bunch of other lawyers who would beg.
You and Coney. You and Justice Coney. Also, too, it was helpful too that you were on the De La Salle homecoming court.
You think that helped?
I think that was very helpful. Well, I think that's very helpful just in general.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
It's prestigious. Nothing else. Do you know how many young ladies just dream about being on De La Salle's homecoming court?
Really?
Not too many.
Not too
many. But getting back to what we were saying, telephone calls. I know it's frustrating, and again, when we meet with clients, I usually give them about 15 minutes to
vent.
And at a point, I say, okay, we're finished venting. The venting's not going to change anything.
Right, now we have to problem solve.
There you go. That's it. Problem solve. And figure out what the rules of the game and beat them at their own rules.
Right.
I'm not saying not beat them in a way, but play by those own rules and figure out how to maximize your recovery by playing those rules.
You always have to go back to the policy and what the law says.
Right. And that, if they're going to, if insurance companies are going to advocate for their position, what's best for them, which is collect premium, pay out as less as they can. I mean, that's just the business model. Right. They make more profit. And I'm not saying there's anything nefarious about that. That's just the way it is. And so you have that in place. It's been like that since Lloyd's of London's been in existence for hundreds of years. And it's not going to change with this hurricane. It's not going to change with any hurricanes in the future.
Well, that's just what insurance is. It's a calculated risk.
Right. And so what you have to do is advocate for yourself. You be the policyholder is the one that quantifies the damages, and then the policyholder is the one that goes on the offense,
right?
And putting it in the insurance company's lap and say, okay, you got some decisions to make. If you don't make the right decision, then we may be able to deal with this in the next level in some type of litigation or claim.
And it's still amazing to me. I'll talk to people and they'll say, well, I really needed a whole new roof, but my insurance company would only do a patch, so I have a patch. I think it's that, we've been talking about a paradigm shift, a change in the way that you think about it. And it amazes me that people will just take the first answer an insurance company gives them as though they have no other right to seek any other remedy. And, it's kind of...
Think of it this way as a football game. When you get up to the line of scrimmage and you see the defense lining up, and then you say, they want to stop me, so I'm not even going to run the ball.
Right. Yeah, that's a good...
I'm going to take a knee.
Yeah.
Because they look, they're in the front line. They look like
they look scary.
They look scary. And, you got to go out there and play the football game with them. And
I think that's why, if you don't have the constitutionality to persevere with a claim, then hire somebody.
Get help.
Get help.
I think early on, and
whether it's a public adjuster, it's just somebody to help you through the process.
Because I think a lot of attorneys get hired early on. For some people, they could probably do it themselves, but the emotional capacity is not there.
Sure.
For whatever reason, because of their life situation, they might be a single mom. They might be in a work situation where they don't have time, or they just don't have, they're not wired that they're very good at being adversary.
Mm-hmm.
They're just nice people.
Yeah.
And don't like they don't like conflict.
Mm-hmm. And there are a lot of
people
adverse
to that. Yeah.
And it is, it can be a full-time job.
It is. It's very labor intensive.
So, yeah.
And so, I say this all the time. I said this first hour. Every day I learn something new. And I've been doing this for 33 years. I'm like, it's almost scary that I didn't know it before.
Right.
And so I imagine I did this, we did this for a living. I know how tough it is for a policyholder to disseminate all this information. along those lines, we do have in our website, and this is for I've written a bunch of articles on Hurricane Ida, and it's if you go to idahurricaneclaim.com, you can access any article about the claims process, roofs, how to respond to a lowball estimate, good faith, bad faith with an insurance company. All those articles are on various blogs, and they're good little reference materials. And
Sure.
We try to write it in plain language. We're not trying
I
to
think
write.
you do a good job of doing that.
That's my background in Metairie, in Bucktown. We get to the point, We don't use all this intellectual theory, man. We tell us what we need and how to do it, you know. And so it's very straightforward, very simple, and you can use that as reference material. Also on our Facebook page, Nico and Sinceri, or our personal Facebook page, we have all these podcasts. And if there's something that you heard that you want to get clarification on, you can go on the Facebook page and listen to that. So there's a lot of information out there, and we want you to have that information so that you can maximize your recovery, because we need to get this city built back.
Yeah, we need to get people's houses put back together.
And we need to elect people who where the business plan is to update our infrastructure every time there's a hurricane. We're going to elect people where you have economic growth, jobs, protection, and crime, and protection from crime. So, but anyway, we want to get the money flowing in the city, and we want to build. This could be the greatest city. It has potential to be the greatest city in North America. But
it does.
It does. But we don't take care of it. Let's go to a break. Final break. Doug Sinceri, Michelle Demers Sinceri, Ida Recovery Connection. We'll be right back after this brief time out.
Have you heard all these new national chain store ads that claim guaranteed low price? Like it's something new? Well, it isn't. It's just a lot of noise. Oakland Heart has been offering a
Last spot is Diamonds Direct. We have no one on the phone.
exquisite diamond jewelry in the region. It's one reason why Gambit readers once again voted us best local jeweler. Apparently being local and honest means something. For 3 generations, we've worked tirelessly at Oakland Heart, driven by our passion to be the best. We've assembled a team nearly 50 strong. Gemologists, diamond buyers, designers, award-winning master craftsmen, each one second to none. And our sales associates are warm, welcoming, knowledgeable, and never high pressure. We're passionate, not pushy. There is a difference. We invite you to come experience the Oakland Heart difference. For finer diamonds and the best price, shop Oakland Heart on Metairie Road. Beautiful in more ways than one.
If you drive a car, truck, SUV, or vehicle of any kind, you need Get Upside, the free gas app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. That's right. With the free Get Upside gas app, you can get up to 25 cents a gallon cash back every time you buy gas. Nearly 3 million people have earned cash back with Get Upside just for buying gas.
I always use Get Upside. Some months I make $200 to $300.
I love getting money back for things I use every day. It's just free money for buying gas.
There's no catch. It's simple, and you get your cash back right away.
Download the free Get Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play to save up to 25 cents per gallon when you buy gas. Use promo code HORN for a 25 cent per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents per gallon on your next fill up. You can cash out anytime to PayPal or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Earn cash back on gas on every fill up. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code HORN for a 25 cent per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code HORN.
Hi, this is John from the Silver Slipper Casino, here to tell you about our $450,000 Win That giveaway going on here at the Slipper. Come and play any of your favorite slots or table games any Friday or Saturday in the months of October, November, and December, and you'll be earning a chance to play the Win That Beanbag.
We're going to have a little over 5 minutes to fill before the end of the show.
And you can win up to $40,000 in cash and free play on the last Saturday of each month. Silver Slipper Casino, we are proud to be your host on the coast.
Yeah.
Is your retirement plan out of tune? Learn how to get yours in tune with the First Security Financial Show. Join host David Compton Saturday morning 8 to 9 for helpful tips to retirement. The First Security Financial Show, Saturdays on WWL.
Metropolitan Gastroenterology Associates is the premier choice in gastroenterology care. Colonoscopy is recommended for all 45 and older. If you are 45 and up or have digestive issues, call 405-265-9574 or metrogi.com to schedule today.
Diamonds Direct has enough diamonds.
Going live after this.
Supply up to 30 ordinary jewelry stores, from a half carat to 10 carats. Rare, precious diamonds in all shapes, straight from the world's best diamond cutters. At Diamonds Direct, diamonds are our business, our specialty, our focus. That's why we can guarantee the best diamond selection and the best diamond prices every day, every week, every year. Diamonds Direct.
What?
Get store hours, directions, and more at diamondsdirect.com.
Thank you.
Back to Ida Recovery Connection on WWL, AMFM.com, and the Odyssey app. You can get expert advice now from attorney Doug Sinceri on the Oakland Heart Jewelers Talk and Text line, 504-260-1870.
Hey, we're back. Doug Sinceri, Michelle Demers, Sinceri, the Ida Recovery Connection. All things legal. We're not going to be on next 3 Sundays. We'll be on here next Tuesday night from 8 to 10. The Astros are going to lose the World Series.
Oh, no.
It's the Braves 7, Astros nothing. The Braves scored a touchdown.
Touchdown?
No, they didn't. 7-0.
You were thinking I wasn't going to catch that.
I know. I was testing you
You
there.
were seeing if I was awake.
When I was walking in the other room, I was listening to the election results. They actually had an election on whether to defund the police.
I know. It was in Minnesota.
That must be like California, huh? They're sort of nutty up there, huh?
Yeah. Well,
I wonder if they would.
They wanted to. They want social services to take over. I was listening to it this morning.
I'm glad they didn't have a referendum on defunding the military after Pearl Harbor, because that's about makes as much sense.
I know.
All right. And so we'll be on. Like I said, we'll be on next Tuesday. I think each show has a theme, right?
Mm-hmm. What was today's theme?
I think today's theme was about document your conversations with the claims adjuster.
I'm still stuck on the leaky windows.
And the leaky windows. We're going to be talking about, you know what, when we dim the lights, turn on the candles.
What are we talking about, leaky windows?
And you're going to be like, I can't believe this. Somebody said windows are made to leak. So.
I would love to try that case.
That's a dream.
That is a dream.
You know, that's sort of funny. After Katrina, we all sort of picked our cases we wanted to try. And we picked the cases that were most egregious.
Yeah.
Because, we wanted to make some good law.
Sure.
And, that might be one of those cases. Can you explain to the jury your statement that all windows are supposed to leak? And so there you go. So you may want to.
What's our theme going to be next week? Do we know?
I don't know, because it's a week by week thing.
Okay.
So this is a process. Like
Okay.
Nick Saban says, this is a process.
Right.
So you just got to work the process.
I'm working the process.
Keep your head down and control
Just
what
do
you
your
control
job.
and do your job.
That's right.
And I think doing your job right now is quantifying your damages and documenting. If you do that, good things will happen. Don't worry about the result. Focus on what you're doing ahead of you. And keep the rat poison out of your ears.
And also, I wouldn't have people. I know this
rat poison. That's what Nick Saban says.
I wouldn't get anxious that you can't find a roofer and choose one that's not licensed, or you don't know if they're insured, or if they're way overpriced. I think everyone's going through that. Don't panic. Be wise in your decision, don't settle.
Right, because you want to get your house fixed as soon as possible and repair, but if it causes more problems in fixing it, then
And listen, I've heard people go, "Oh well, I just needed a patch, so I hired a guy. I know he didn't have the insurance, and everything was fine." Well, that's great, but the same person could do that, have the roofer fall off, and you're on the hook.
We had a lot of big problems with that after Katrina,
Yeah.
And just recently we had a case that an uninsured roof, someone who's uninsured injured themselves on the roof, and there was a big liability. And they said, "Well, my homeowners would cover that." No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
It's uninsured.
Yep.
And it was very scary for the homeowners to go to go through because they were looking at a 6-figure exposure. And, it sort of worked out, but it's a scary thing. So make sure, and also too, let's keep the money in Louisiana. Let's hire Louisiana contractors, Louisiana roofers, because we don't want them to take our, carpet bag us and take our money and go elsewhere.
No, I understand that.
So we had enough of that about 120 years ago. So 150 years
And
ago.
in
So we don't have to do that. And Katrina, same thing. So we don't need to do that. So we'll be well. Thank you for joining.
Thank you for having me.
Across the hall. And so what we're going to talk about when we dim the lights tonight? Are we going to talk about leaky windows and arbitrary and bad faith?
Where?
Man, some of the pillow talk that we have is just probably very uninteresting to others. But I know. So, but thanks a lot, and we wish you a great week, and we'll see you next week on the Ida Recovery Connection from 8 to 10, and go Saints against those hated Falcons. The hated Falcons.
That's this weekend?
That's this weekend.
Oh,
so we'll beat them. All right. We'll see you next week. Have a great week.
Home of the Saints and LSU.